Hey, what's up? This is Gramatik, and I'm here with guest.
Hi guys, I'm here for guest list Nico. So I'm here with Gramatik tonight in the event club. So tonight is not gay night, it's hip hop night with Gramatik. So we know that you start as an MC with the group 5 Elements in 2001. No?
It was philosophical and like also like very like socially real, and it wasn't like when I grew up I was like inspired by rappers like Quali and Rosdad and Guru and people that actually like real lyricists. So I always took like rapping seriously, you know. It wasn't like something that I would used to. I grew up listening to Redman, and those guys were like super awesome comedy rapping as well. But when I sat down and wrote something, it had to be something really meaningful. You know, it was either philosophical or like really deep or socially critical. So, but then later on, I started making music more and more and rapping less and less because I get more attracted by the production side of it. I just realized that I'm really hungry for all these different music genres that I want to produce, and also like Slovenian rap can only exist inside Slovenia.
So what was your dream when you start as a producer? Did you know that you want to be on the stage?
No, not at all. When I started out, I thought that when I was making hip hop beats and rapping, it was just like hip hop was the thing. You know, it wasn't like this EDM scene as we know it today. It wasn't like that back then, especially not in Europe. Like EDM was just like house and techno and trance. So it wasn't no bridge in between to like bring the whole thing together in a new wave of EDM. Well, I never realized that I could just go and like play my hip hop beats without raps on stage and people would come and fucking party to it, you know. I always thought that if I'm gonna make a career out of this, it's gonna be me making beats for some famous rappers, you know. And then this whole new wave of EDM started happening when people like me started like, incorporating all these like electronic music elements into the hip hop beats and making the beats stand alone as their own tracks. Like I started doing that out of like curiosity and like how can I make a track that's instrumental like out of a hip hop beat and add stuff to it and make it a standalone track that's not a beat anymore, it's a song. So then I never realized that would actually become a scene of its own like it is now. So it just happened so fast, and then here we are.
So that's where you made your first fans, and then you choose to do electronic music, as you say. I realized that with the album No Shortcuts, 2010. Maybe that's where you get your new direction.
Yeah, that's when it started, because I always had this idea. When I made Street Bangers Volume 1, at the same time I was making tech house and electro house and releasing it on Beatport. So it's like people think that I started out with hip hop and then like started making all this electronic music shit later, which is not true. I was just releasing different things at different times, but I was always making all of that shit from the beginning. I started out with hip hop beats, and not sure after I started making tech house and electro house and all this other like EDM genres that I really liked and I grew up listening to. And I grew up in rave parties in my hometown, and we had one of the biggest rave clubs in Europe.
Okay, so we want to speak a lot about ExMag in the group, but first I want to ask you one question, because it's very important to everybody to know, because you are a super producer, you travel a lot. So I want to know if you can say to the fans, if you went to one place that it maybe influenced you about the music, one place that you remember around the world. If you went in a place and it's influenced you.
Well, me personally, like when it comes to like electronic music, my biggest influence by far was French electronic music.
Cool.
Especially like Ed Banger and like Daft Punk and Propeller.
No, Ed Banger.
Yeah, dude. Like Ed Banger is one of the main reasons I started making EDM. You know, like Justice is my favorite EDM like duo of all time.
So now we are going to introduce your new project with ExMag. So if we can have a
Yeah, sure.
chat with
Eric.
one of your members.
Yeah, of course.
So
This is Eric Mendelson.
Oh, okay,
He plays
okay.
guitar with me on
Yeah.
stage as Gramatik.
So you want to make something new?
Yeah, we are. Me and him when he started playing with me like 2 years ago, as you know, in Dramatic live shows as a guitarist. Like at the same time, him and Tyler, one of the other members of ExMag, like somewhere along the line, they formed ExMag, and we were all living together and making music together.
Like about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was a year and a half ago. And him and Tyler formed ExMag as like a project that they would want to like, you know, update the neo soul sound that like what Erykah Badu and D'Angelo started. Like we were all super
We were really
inspired
just
by
like
that.
huge fans of like D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, like all the funk stuff of the 60s and 70s and 80s. And me and Dennis were living together at the time. My friend Tyler was just coming up like on the weekends, and we were making tracks together. And we made like 3 tracks, and then Dennis was like, "Oh, be a part of this."
Yeah.
So it started then us 3, and then eventually another member, Mike Ionado, and then Green Bellamy came along, and we ended up making like 2 to 3 albums worth of tracks.
Yeah,
Like now
40
we have.
tracks. We have like at least 5 projects coming out in the
Yeah.
next 6 months, so it's gonna be really
It's not
exciting.
too much for you. It's 5 projects. I mean, like as an artist,
No,
not too much.
it's not, because it's like everybody's doing like this is pretty much like we are all living together and doing these projects, and so we have the ExMag, the Dramatic album, the ExMag album, the Gibbs album, Frank's album, like it's like Illuminator album, which is one of the guys in ExMag. So it's like all of these guys are making their own projects, and we are all just there together to make sure that all of them are done properly. And we're all working on each other's projects and working together, so it's not really that much, you know.
It just give you energy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like something that we do anyway on a daily basis. I mean, we all live together and like we wake up, smoke a fuckload of weed, and just make music, you know.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. So you want to make something new for ExMag.
Yeah. I mean, we're always going to be inspired by the 4 father genres, the funk, the soul, the blues, the jazz. But then it's about like how do you interpret those genres in your own way in the times of today with the technology of today, you know. And we're always trying to keep that, you know, root alive and not focus too much on the technical side, so we don't lose the soul of the music. Because that's what I think it's a problem with today's EDM. Everybody's just focusing on the loudness and the technical side of the things. They didn't forget that they didn't do anything with the song. You know, it's just like, oh, it sounds amazing, but there's nothing there to make me want to listen to it again. So that's what we are all about.
Yeah, we can feel when you hear your music.
And that's what I think Ed Banger is all about. That's what I felt that. I felt that with every single release they do. In their own unique, crazy French way, they were able to capture the soul like in a very fresh way that nobody else. Like once Justice came out, everybody started copying that sound.
So, what I can feel when I hear you speak, that you want to share your music, you just want to make music. Maybe you don't even care about to get money, you just want music. So can you speak about your label?
I realized at one point that like, you know, you can't really fight piracy on the internet anymore. It's like it was retarded for anybody to think that you can actually fight piracy. It's like the church's age-old war against masturbation. It's a war you just can't win. You know, you just gotta accept it as the new way of doing things and the technology future. And I realized that artists going on TV and saying, "Don't pirate my shit, that's illegal. Like, you gotta buy that shit." People listen to that and like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna pirate me right now. I'm downloading this shit for free just because I can, and nobody's gonna stop me." So why go against that? You know, you gotta make. I realized you gotta make your music available for free at all times to your fans. So because most of our fans are like between 18 and 25, people that go to college and don't have money to buy all their favorite albums and all their favorite producers that released albums in that day and that year. So they would go fucking broke if they bought all that shit. So if you make it available for them for free anytime, they will become your biggest fans and come to all your shows, and when they have money, they will donate and support you. So it's like the reverse psychology thing. Like, we're not corporations trying to force people to give us money for our music. It's art, you know. It should be available for free everywhere. Like, you go in a gallery, you see a picture, and like, you know, you see it there. It's like you admire it and you go away. You're not paying. You know, if you want to buy it, you know, that's like up to you. You know, but there should the music share available for free. So that's the whole like philosophy. It's not even a philosophy. It's just common sense. Of the way of the future. Same way when I was in fucking college and high school, I was broke as fuck. I never had money to buy all the albums that I wanted. That was pissing me the fuck off. And there was in times where you couldn't get all the shit on the internet.
I was more lucky than you were.
You know, like when I got the first year of high school, that's when internet became that developed that I could pirate the fuck out of it, everything, and download all the shit that I wanted. I was like, yes, this is awesome. Finally, I could get all the music I want without spending thousands of dollars. You know. So that's how it felt when I became an artist and I got fans. I know that they all feel like that because I felt like that. So I wanted to change that.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, man.
Very great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are good questions.
Yeah, okay. So, Angel, tonight we just want that you make the crowd crazy. We will be there and we will support you for your new project. You say new album around November?
Yeah, the ExMag album is around November and then the Gramatik album probably beginning of January.
There's probably going to be a new single for ExMag like in the next few
In a week.
In a week, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much. It was Nico and Gramatik for guest list.
Hi guys, I'm back with Gramatik for guest list. So how are you doing after the gig? It was a crazy show.
Yeah, it was awesome. Trying to cool my blood down. I was jumping for 2 hours, so I need to catch my breath.
So now what's happened? You're going to a gig in Europe. Where are you going now?
Oh, we're going to Paris next. We're doing Paris on Saturday. And it's my birthday, so it's awesome.
Okay.
I can't wait. We're gonna get fucking wasted.
Okay. So after, as you said before, you will start to make the big album.
Yeah.
With ExMag.
Yeah.
So we hear tonight that you are a lot about electronic music.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
We did like London in like in May. We did the first time and it was really awesome. But tonight was like a whole other level. It was just more energy, more everything. You know, like the people already, you know, they broke the ice when they came to the first show in May, and now they were like they knew what to expect and they were like down for it. It was really cool. So I was really glad that we put like that energy. Like I almost lost my breath. Like it was like, intense.
Because when you make music, you always want to dance.
Me and Eric both. Like he barely plays the guitar because he's grooving all the time. I'm jumping like a fucking monkey, you know. And it's like that's it. That's the best way we can relate what we're trying to say, the story that we're trying to say. You know? So that's what it is.
Yeah.